Yeah, what is this thing called love? Because I think it's one of our most confusing words, and usually we confuse it with nice. And love is clearly not nice, but it is definite, and it is always active, and it is always present. Now, love is so loving, it will let us make mistakes. It will let us fail at our goals. It will let us succeed at our goals, too. But love works with the law of cause and effect. Law of divine mind action, which means thoughts held in mind produce after their kind. And love will not happen despite my thoughts. Now, we're not punished for our thoughts. We live in the results of them. And that's why ignorance is not exemption of the law. You may not know the speed limit, but you can still get a ticket for driving too fast in a speed zone. And you can say, but I didn't know, and well, you should have. You should have known the law of the speeding, and then you wouldn't get a ticket. You might check up on that in the future. And as Myrtle Fillmore, Unity's co-founder, said that owing to a lack of understanding of the health laws, neither of us was as healthy as we ought to have been. And so we got understanding of the health laws, and we got healthier. That is love. With my understanding of divine law, I live a better life. It is in my choosing to remain ignorant of the laws of health, the laws of well-being, the laws of wealth, the laws of harmony, that I live in what feels like a punishing existence. Now, how could God allow this to happen? Well, God's not a person, first of all. God is a principle, God is principle itself. And so within that principle, I am free. I am free to live however it is I live. I have proven these principles true in both positive and negative ways many, many, many times. And oh, I wish I could be exempt of the law some days. But so far it hasn't. That has not happened. And life on life's terms happens. People we love live and people we love die. And how can this happen? Not this one. We don't care about all the other ones that are going. You know, as I say, who reads the obituaries? And so, about the people we don't know. It's our own loved ones. Oh no, it's too soon. I don't want them to go. You know, I hear about a child or something, and oh no, that's too soon. But the others, get out. You know, make room for the people I love. And so it tells me we pick and choose within our life experiences what we like and what we don't like. I'm saying I don't know much about life, but I know what I like, and I don't like the rest of it. The parts I don't like, and so we need to get understanding of the laws of health, or the laws of love. I don't know if this has a thing to do with what I'm talking about today, but I just had to laugh. I saw it online, and it says, "How do you look in your bathing suit?" And it's got a picture of a very skinny woman and a Zoftic woman, and it says, "Skinny? Thousands gain 10 to 25 pounds this quick and easy way." Because there was a time when it was more fashionable to be heavy. And but you see, if I don't live up to the standards of fashion, I don't feel loved. If I'm not whatever I think I ought to be, I think I'm not loved. If I look in my wallet or my bank account and there's not the amount of zeros and what have you in it, I'm not loved. If you look at me in a way that I feel threatened by, I think I'm not loved. If I hit too many red lights, I'm not loved. It seems like no matter what is happening that provides an inconvenience or a hurt feeling or some form of inharmony, I'm not loved. And it happens if my mind starts to go and I can't remember things, I think I'm not loved. If I had to let that one go years ago. When my mother made her transition, I lost my short-term memory. I just lost it. I mean, I could walk away from you having a very deep conversation and have no idea what we had spoken about. And I thought, what's this about? Because I used to remember every detail of everything so I could prove you wrong in any given moment. And when my mother left, I thought, oh, I don't need to remember that stuff anymore. It's no longer important. Because I don't have to protect her or protect myself from her. And so I don't need to, so I didn't care anymore. And now, if I don't remember your name, you know what I can do? I can say, I forgot your name. Would you tell it to me again? And I may have to ask twice more. And it's not personal. So there's no cause for either of us to be offended or for me to worry that I don't remember. I find many nouns leave me. In life, many words to describe stuff, adjectives, nouns, what have you, titles. I don't remember them a lot of the time. Does it matter? Go to Google. Go to Google. It's not cause to declare I am unloved. If you don't remember my name, it's not cause for me to think I'm not loved. If I don't feel loved by any one of you, it is not cause for me to declare I am unloved or unlovable. It isn't. And I learned that early on in my healing. The 12 steps, I think it's page 449. No, that's another one. It's somewhere in the big book that says, resentment is the #1 offender. And it will take me down. My resentments don't take you down. They exclude you from my love process, but they take me down. They will take me to a place where I can forget who and what I am. And I don't care for that. It's page 449 that said, whenever we are angry, we are also somehow at fault. It's like, really?
Yeah.
Really? But I knew it was true as soon as I read it. Because I'm angry over what I think about it. I'm not angry over what you think about it. I'm angry over what I think about it. And when I'm angry, I don't feel loved. And I start to tell myself a story in one form or another that I'm not loved. And then when you come to unity, love is all there is. Love is. But we don't know what love is. And it's completely indescribable in its truest form. Eric Butterworth did a little dissertation on love, and I want to read you some of these high points of it. And I love this. We intuitively know that there is more in us than we are aware. Mm-hmm. The desire to be more, this is the divine discontent. It thrilled me to read that. Oh, I have a divine discontent. That urge that still wants to know more and explore more and see more. And, because I like him. And to know what's going on. But I don't have to describe it. I just want to experience it. When you open up a closet door, you want to experience what's in this closet. You open up a cabinet you haven't looked in a long time. When I move, and I don't do that often, but when I do, all those boxes I open are like Christmas. Because I don't know what's in half of them. And so it made it really thrilling and really exciting. We still have some stuff in the attic we've never opened. We knew what it was when we put it there. But we have no essence of what it is now. So to open some of those, we have a bunch of bins in the basement. Because it was David's solution. It was a great solution. Went to Walmart and bought a bunch of bins to put stuff in that we didn't have a place to put. And every so often I go through them to mostly eliminate. But it's, I forgot about that. And, old memories come back. It's gifts. And I was like, I feel so loved. I feel so, and so that's a nice thing. But that divine discontent, that I still want to know the intensity of divine love. Not to get high from, but to be reassured. Love is. And then it says, until we comprehend and work with the cosmic process of love, does truth become a way of life for us. If I have these things, but he quotes 1 Corinthians 13, but have not love, I am nothing. Love is more than emotions, feelings, and sexual content. It is the completeness of life. Love is. So what is love? In other words, it says love is beyond definition. Love is expressed but not defined. We are not born empty, and life is not about looking to special people for love. Love is an inner power, not an object. Our need is not to be loved, but to be love. To express love, to radiate love. So you see, love is not about getting the love. It's about being the love and expressing it everywhere in your life. And sometimes being love is to say yes. And sometimes being love is to say no. We go within and we ask, what is the most loving response in this moment? My love is my attunement with the cosmic flow. The great need is not to be loved, but to be love. I am created in and of love. It is my nature, the root of my being. I am the very activity of love in expression. I have within me all the love in the universe. And so, in a moment where you don't feel love, to declare, I have within me all the love in the universe. Use those reminders to get you through a hard moment, through a difficult moment where you don't feel at all loved, and you say, but wait a minute. Eric Butterworth promised, Shawn just promised this, the universe promises, I have within me all the love in the universe. So therefore I insist on seeing it in front of me now. Declare a thing and make it so in your experience. There is no strain or drain in the loving. If a person feels strain in the loving, he or she is out of tune with the flow. They're trying to overcome by willpower. I can't give you anything but love, baby, means I can't give you love, baby. I can't give love to anyone because nothing has gone out of me. Love flows from the divine flow of a cosmic consciousness. When Jesus says, love thy neighbor, it means to be loving towards one's neighbor. It is an attitude. Love is the way we see our neighbor. In the teaching of Jesus, the emphasis of love is on you, on your consciousness. If you're not centered in love, then every changing condition of your relationship is a threat. If you feel ingratitude, then you didn't really love. You were bartering. Yes, if you feel ingratitude, ungrateful for the experience of a relationship, then you didn't really love. You were bartering. I have a friend who says they don't speak to any former partners. What's the point? Why would you do that? And I said, because you got together in the first place for a good reason. You found each other in the first place for a divine reason. To hate them now because they forgot or you forgot, you're forgetting. And love, you didn't love them. You just wanted a contract. I have let go of most contracts in my life. I don't hang out with everybody I've ever hung out with. But most contracts, you can't do this or I won't be nice to you. I can't set that up at the beginning of the friendship. You have to behave this way, and this way. We have to have friendships and relationships that we're allowed to falter in, that we are allowed to forget who we are in. And what if your job is to remind them by being love, not by preaching, but by being love. And then if they want to be reminded, they will. And sometimes we have to take a break from each other to come back together in love and friendship. I got dismissed earlier this year by someone that years ago, like 20 years ago, I was in a relationship with. 25 years ago, actually. And I had sent them one too many email flyers about my show. And they unfriended me on Facebook. Thought, okay, another temper tantrum after 25 years. Do I have to be mad at them? Do I have to? No. I will laugh about it, though. I thought, are really, after 25 years, I'm still getting a temper tantrum. But there's a reason we ended that relationship the way it was. And I had to find him. Jesus says, this is a great one. Jesus says, love your enemies, not because he deserves it, but because you deserve it. You deserve the love that is, and so love those that hate you and persecute you, and it's wonderful. If thy right eye causes thee to stumble, pluck it out. Matthew 5:29. Eric says, stop thinking negative thoughts. Get out of a consciousness of resistance. The time to salute the divinity in another person, the time to say namaskar, is the very time that it is most difficult to do. Not because he deserves it, but because you are out of tune. When we are centered in our own love flow, we are functioning at the level of life's completion, what Thoreau calls the license of a higher order of being. An example of seeing a friend in consciousness of love, looking at the person with eyes of love, transformed a problem within 48 hours. I've had transformations instantly, where I was free to call people that I days ago thought I would never ever talk to them again. Suddenly there's no longer any confusion. There's no longer reason to withhold this love that I think I could withhold. And we are friends to this day. It's nice. Love does its healing work because it gets us centered in a consciousness of compassion. From that consciousness, I see clearly through the eyes of love. When we resist a thing, we are at a lowest level of consciousness. This is a consciousness in which chaos is always a possibility. Love is not giving something, it is rather being something. Never try to love anyone, because to try to love is to not to love. To try to love is a judgment. Seeing with love creates an environment where people feel secure and let down their guard. The word for eye comes from the Sanskrit word for fountain. Transcendent seeing is a fountain that flows. Whatever you look upon is illumined. And finally, the homework assignment. Practice seeing with the eyes of love. But remember, do it not because they deserve it, but because you deserve it. To love because you deserve to love. You're worthy of it. No one is unworthy of the kingdom, even the people we hate the most. Even the people we fear the most. They're not unworthy of the kingdom. I've just confused them with their personality or my personality. Sometimes a perfectly innocent person reminds us of someone who hurt us in the past, and so we punish them by rejecting them, dismissing them. And it's a tough call. It's a process. So much of the stuff we talk about here is a big process of unfoldment, of considering our own worthiness. And I have a friend who can't look in the mirror and say, "Hi, God." Feels it's sacrilege. Feels it's somehow going to offend God. And I said, you need a new God. If I am God being me in this time, in this body, in this place, then how can I look there and find flaws? There's no point looking there to find the shame and the guilt. And so, this is what God looks like. You're welcome. This is the magnificence that God looks like today. Did somebody just say thank you?
No, I said very cute.
Oh, well, thank you. You know, some of our adults didn't realize we were cute, didn't realize we were worthy of the kingdom, didn't realize how to treat us properly and with respect and dignity. They just didn't. They didn't because they forgot. I, at this age, cannot continue to hate someone who forgot. I can't. Because, you know what? It does not enhance my health. It does not give me understanding of the laws of health. It does not give me understanding of the laws of wealth. It does not give me understanding of the laws of harmony. It does not give me understanding of the laws of love. Hate does not enhance my understanding of divine law or divine mind. Willingness gives me understanding, not resistance. Willingness to see past what I think is wrong in the world so that I may look at what is right. Willingness to look beyond what I have hated or feared so that I may see what I love, so that I may see through shame into what I love, that I may see through guilt so that I may see what I love. And then I may recognize how I am loved, because I cannot not be loved. We were told, I have loved you with an everlasting love. Only because the God of my understanding cannot not love me. If that God is love itself, how could it be the opposite of it? And so anything that is the opposite of love is an illusion, and it is temporary. And, here's the best part, it can be changed by me. I can change that with one thought that leads to another thought, that leads to another thought. I would have to abandon all the thoughts that are the opposite to those thoughts, but that's all it would cost me. You know, it's like what I have declared over and over again. Well, let me ask you this. Who here wants to live knowing they are prosperous? Anybody? Okay. Here's all that it will cost you. There is a price to pay. It will cost you your lack. And I know our lack is very expensive, but that's all that it will cost you in order to know prosperity, is your lack. Well, I would get rid of my lack. Really? Why haven't you then? If you would gladly do it, why haven't you? What, you've been holding on for until today? Maybe, but today's a good day to let go. Send the lack into the nothingness. Send the lack just into the nothingness. And some of us are going to say, but I can't. It hurts too much. I have identified myself as my lack. Well, yeah, well, that's fine. Come up with a new identity. Try something else on that fits. There's got to be something more than your lack, your pain, your sickness, your inharmony, your past. It doesn't fit so well anymore. Try on some love. Try on some of these concepts. That's what I did. I kept trying on more love concepts. And my life changed radically. And I'll tell you something. I went in the back of the closet after a few years, and I found some of the old stuff. Some of the old stuff that didn't look so good on me, but I put it on anyway. And experienced the pain of it. You know, your hate shoes. We put on our hate shoes till our whole body hurts. Put on our resentment shoes. We put on our poverty shoes. Until, oh my gosh, how much longer do I have to wear these things? Until I take them off. That's all the longer I have to wear my hate shoes. Until I take them off. Nobody's going to pull them off of me. I just kick them off. And put your love shoes on. I can't believe I said that.
I could.
I'm going to read you 1 Corinthians chapter 13 in my favorite book, the Holy Spirit's interpretation of the New Testament. Chapter 13 of 1 Corinthians says, the reason for all things is love. Division is the opposite of love because division excludes. Love cannot exclude. Love is a whole, knowing only truth. Become as an empty shell to know love. That is your reason. That is your true desire. To look on the world and divide it by judging is not love, and so it is not what you want. Lay down what you do not want and accept joyfully that which you do. Well, that's simple, isn't it? It's a very simple instruction. Lay down what you do not want and accept what you do. Trust that if there is a millisecond of emptiness, that will be filled by picking up what you do want. You don't have to reach for what you don't want again because you're uncomfortable. Lay it down. Thank you, but I'm done with you. I don't hate you anymore, but I'm done with you. I'm laying you down so that I may pick up. Or, here's another way to do it. Pick up what you do want and push what you do not want out as you insert what you do. There's more than one way to skin this cat. When you look on the world, you see the reflection of your mind, which makes the world through thought. What you believe and what you accept is seen in the world. There is division in what you see because there is division in your thought. This thought is not love. This thought is the denial of love. And love is all that truly exists. To cease denial and see truth, which you truly desire, becomes an empty shell. Let go of thoughts of division that you may see the beauty of your oneness face to face and you may rejoice. Trust is the means and love is the reason. Give everything to trust in the Holy Spirit because love is all that you desire. And so could we declare together right now, love is all that I desire. Love is all that I desire. Once more. Love is all that I desire. One more time. Love is all that I desire. And so it is done. We have it. Amen.